together, but after speaking with a couple of people that have done it before, it did not become a problem. So it was convenience was a pro, time was a pro, and affordability was a pro. Is everyone ready for, unfortunately, the cons of the queue process? There aren't any. There aren't any.
About bringing a stool. I asked him to get on his knees, and that'd make it easier. Okay, I have the rest of the announcements. And by the way, how many of you have taken the queue process? Believe me, the things I found out about myself and reasons that things drive me crazy or make me feel like that all came out and let it go. It was great. Okay, other announcements then. The emails have gone out regarding renewing your membership. If you have not responded yet and you want to renew your membership, ASAP. You want to contact the office as soon as possible and get your membership there, because we'll be looking at having our annual meeting. Today at 11:30, Reverend Greg will present a workshop on Jane Hart's book, Spiritual Power Tools. We will explore the soul's journey, reincarnation, karma, and several practical techniques for accelerating your soul evolution. A $10 lover offering is suggested. Then, speaking of our annual membership meeting, it will be held February 19th after Sunday service. All governing members are invited. And now the prayer box, somewhere here. Okay, there is a prayer box in the back on the ledge on the right as you go out of the sanctuary. You'll find prayer slips and pens for your request. After the service today, the prayer slips will be picked up by the chaplain of the day, which is Jeff Whitman. The chaplains then will pray over the prayer slips, and then they are sent to Silent Unity for an additional 30 days of prayer. Unity believes in the power of affirmative prayer. When you're completing the prayer slips, we invite you to affirm of what you want more in your life rather than focusing on the issue. If you're not feeling well, you want to feel better. You might affirm perfect healing and health for your body. When we feel overwhelmed with too much to do, we might affirm clarity or seeing things in the light. As right now, we are seeing Mo freely walking around on her new knee. What we give attention to is what grows, so we might as well affirm what we want, with less emphasis on a problem or a situation. There is an opportunity to have a prayer chaplain pray with anyone who would like to have one-on-one prayer time after the service. The available chaplains will be up front, and they're wearing a purple stole. And now meditation with Reverend Greg.
This is the most important part of the service, because this is where we get our direct downloading from our source, our spiritual source that we hold in common. And so take into your heart the truth of your being. The truth of your being. I am an evolving soul with unlimited potential for growth. And so as you take a breath and just feel yourself connecting with the who that you are, the I am that you are. I am the truth of my being. I am connected, mind, body, and soul, with my spiritual essence. And just feel yourself opening like a flower in the sunlight, quieting, becoming more and more receptive. I am in the presence of pure being because I am that presence of pure being. I am immersed in the spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I am that spirit. And as my mind grows still, and my feelings grow receptive, my body is relaxed, and I am open in this moment to receiving directly from my spiritual source the essence of God within. The presence of God within. I am guided and protected by God's love, wisdom, knowledge, and grace. The God consciousness within helps me discover more about who I am. Thank you, God, for the gift of spiritual intuition and for aligning my conscious, subconscious, and superconscious mind. And I quietly listen for just a moment and let myself receive in my heart. I am refreshed and renewed, reinvigorated, enlightened and enlivened, and I move into my world with a spirit of enthusiasm and joy. I am grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit. Amen.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning, here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper than I've ever been before. 'Cause here I go, closer to my sacred source. 'Cause here I go, deeper than I've been before. 'Cause here I go, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
Wow, you are so fortunate. I could listen to Donna every week. Yeah. And I've gotten to know Rev Mo at the ministers' meetings, and I could listen to her every week too. You have a dynamic spiritual community led by a dynamic spiritual leader. There's energy and there's life in you. And because of that, there's energy and life in this consciousness, in this congregation. And we're celebrating that energy and that life, which is the energy and life of an evolving soul. You are a soul in evolution. You were created to experience, to grow through this third dimensional life of eons and eons of time in which you've incarnated and experienced yourself in different dramatizations, different forms, different formats. And yet, how often do we really reflect on that? Do we live from that truth? Do we live from that reality? I am not a limited personality. I am not a limited ego. I am a soul in evolution. But to bring that soul consciousness forward in life, the ego consciousness has to recede. And that's really the core teaching of unity. How many of you read Lessons in Truth by Emily Cady? Charles Fillmore hired Emily Cady to write Unity's primary textbook, even though he never met her in his entire lifetime. She never set foot in a Unity church. Very Unity kind of thing to do. Because it's not about the form. But one thing that she taught was that we've got to let go of the limited personality in order to grow in our consciousness in the individuality of the soul. We've got to let go of the ego, the personality, and grow into our soul consciousness. But how do we do that? There are 3 steps and stages in that process, and the first is desire. It's the desire of your heart, the love in your heart. For what? Well, for some of us, that love is for God. Jesus' first and great commandment is love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. That's one way to experience it. But where is that God? How do you experience that God? If not, within your own heart. And so that love in your heart for the essence of your being, the truth of your being, that desire in your heart is what makes all the difference in the world. And I know that a lot of Eastern religions are said to teach that you should be desireless, but none of them really say that you should be desireless. They say you should let go of all of your ego desires, your limited desires, all the desires for all the outer things, and focus on one true desire, which again, Jesus called the one great commandment. It's that love, that desire to experience the truth of your being. So desire is the first. And then we've got to back that up with something called commitment. You have to make a commitment to the truth of your being, to that desire of your heart. Can you identify what you're committed to? I'm going to challenge you, and you're going to have an opportunity during your spirit circles to experience what you're really committed to. But do you have a readily understood picture of what you're committed to? What is your commitment statement? What are you committed to? Every beginning of every year, I create a commitment. And my commitment this year is to lay down my mind and stay in the silence. Some of the rest of us have ones like, I want to open my heart. I want to experience more abundant life. I want to love my neighbor as myself more. But what is your commitment? Because that's how you back up your desire. I had an experience many years ago. In 1998, I was at Unity Village, where Jane Hart, who wrote the book Spiritual Power Tools, was an executive for 10 years. And she was a licensed teacher, licensed Unity teacher. And she was a good spiritual friend. I considered her to be a teacher. But we were driving around in her car, and we were right outside the front gates of Unity Village. How many of you have seen the front gates of Unity Village? So just imagine, she says, "Pull over, Greg, pull over." And I said, "What, here?" "Yeah, pull over." I pulled over. And she says, "Stop the car, turn it off." I did. And I looked at her and she said, "What do you want, Greg?" I said, "What do you mean? What do you want, Greg?" Spiritually, I want to serve God. Don't you think you ought to get to know God first? I've been a minister for 18 years. I've been teaching this stuff. And here she's telling me that I've got to get to know God. Well, I had been playing at a very minimal level. I had not gone into the deep end of my spirituality. And so I looked at her and I said, yes, I want to get to know God. And she meant the God that is within my own heart. And that changed everything. I had a safe, quote unquote, ego-based idea of spirituality that I was going to live the rest of my life out of. I was going to have a certain life. I had it all figured out. And starting then, it all changed. It just dissolved, and I went on an adventure. I'm still on that adventure. Sometimes it feels like a roller coaster ride, but it is the greatest spiritual adventure of my life, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. The spiritual adventure, the true commitment to the truth of your being, to that desire of your heart, you back it up with your commitment, and you'll find that you're living your life not from the ego, but from the soul. Most of our lives are lived, the ego's here and the soul's kind of here. We like to come to, services, and maybe we do a little daily word in the morning. We gulp it down like our coffee before we go out the door, and spirituality's okay, but mostly what we're living from is the personality-based ego stuff. But when we make a commitment to the truth of our being, to our desire of our heart, our soul takes over. We bring the soul from back here somewhere to the foreground. We start living from a more alive place. We get energized, because when you make a commitment, the entire universe backs you up. Your entire being backs you up. You are not just your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, but you are the super consciousness of God expressing. And that desire of your heart to experience more of that spirituality that is within you, that God that's within you, that desire in your heart to know the truth of your being changes everything. And you say to yourself, well, I'm up in years. I have only so much time. You're an eternal being. You've been in this position before, but you've never truly been in this position before, because you've never been in a lifetime in which you actually made the commitment to wake up in God within your own being. All those other lifetimes, you were experiencing yourself as a priest or a nun or a monk or a something and it was all out there. It was always out there. But this is the time. This is the time in your soul's evolution in which you are awakening to the truth of your being. And I want to challenge you and invite you to make that not just a vague desire in your heart, but a burning desire in your heart. And then to take that desire and to create a commitment. And in the book on page 22, there's even a little place where you can sign, I am ready to move into fourth dimensional consciousness. Fourth dimensional consciousness, what is that? Charles Fillmore wrote about it all the time, but people don't talk about it a lot. The fourth dimensional consciousness is what Jesus called the kingdom of heaven. It is the spiritual dimension that is beyond, but manifests through this physical third dimensional experience. And so there's desire. There's commitment, and then you've got to back it up with your will. And that's the process that we undergo once we get in touch with that burning desire in our hearts, that love for God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, love for the truth of our being, love for an awakening experience where life isn't lived in black and white, it's lived in color, where life's not lived in third dimensional limitation, but lived in an unlimited fourth dimensional sense. And everything will change and does change when you move that commitment to the foreground and you use your will. You back up your commitment with your will. And how do you do that? How do you back up your commitment with your will? What are you doing every day of your life to awaken to this truth of your being? Some of you perhaps meditate, some of you perhaps don't meditate, but I challenge you to take 5 minutes a day. I write some of the lessons for Daily Word. They're not intended to be just read They're intended to be taken as real spiritual soul food. And let me tell you about my dad. My dad raised me in unity. I was born and raised in unity. But he would sit with his daily word every morning for 15 minutes. And he'd look at his daily word and he'd read it. And then he'd close it. And he would let himself marinate in the consciousness of that lesson. He was meditating. And when he made meditation a true part of his life in the last 10 years of his life, he'd lived his entire life having spellbinding migraines every couple of weeks. They went away. He began to have experiences, spiritual experiences, where he went even beyond that 15 minutes with his daily word. But start where you are. Take 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Commit to forgiving and forgiving and forgiving more and more, and especially forgiving yourself, absolving yourself to yourself, understanding that you are a soul in evolution. And believe me, we've all done it all. So whatever we're mad at somebody else for, we've done it somewhere, sometime. And whatever we're mad at ourselves for, we can let it go, because that's part of the soul's evolutionary process. Sadly to say, to some of us, we would think it's a sad thing, but that's just part of the process of learning and growing. And a child, when a child learns to walk, falls and skins its knee and has to hit himself or herself up and learn from the experience. And that's what you and I have done. And that's what we're doing now. But we've got to commit to backing up our will to forgive. There are several wonderful spiritual methods and tools in the Spiritual Power Tools book. That's why this book was written by Jane. And she donated a copy to anybody who signs up for one of the spirit circles. But I hope you'll come at 11:30 so that we can go deeper into some of these principles. I'll tell you about one of them. I walked in here and I saw this above and below the line. That's in this book. Not to say that they got it from this book, because the fourth dimensional consciousness, the mind of God, the all-knowing mind, that came down into form in this book. And in this book, it shows up on the level of being the spiritual thermometer. The spiritual thermometer is taking this above and below, but making it on one of those mercury thermometers, one of those bulb thermometers, where it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Anything above a 5 is in the soul, the higher consciousness. Anything below the 5 is in the ego. And there are certain methods and techniques that you can use to experience more and more of the above the line consciousness. There's the 7 Steps to Successful Life Transitions, which is an article that Jane Hart wrote for Unity magazine back in the 1990s that was based in the fact that her mother had died, and she hadn't really grieved her mother. She hadn't really let her mother go, and so she received this. It was her first visionary experience. She really saw 7 stairs and what they meant and how to go through a certain process of journaling and of letting go and of meditation, where any kind of transition, whether it's the death of a loved one or a transition from one consciousness to another, you retire or you change relationships or jobs or anything in life, you can help move that energy forward. There are many other techniques in there, including journaling. And I know that most of us don't like to journal. I know I sure didn't like to journal. But when I sit down and I actually put pen to paper, and there are certain suggested questions that I use every single day of my life that are in this book, that I write down, what am I feeling? What is going on that's causing this feeling? Is this a pattern in my life? What is my soul trying to tell me right now? And if my soul were in charge and not my ego, how would I handle things differently? And these are just a few of the different methods that you can experience. But I encourage you, I invite you to awaken to this truth of your being by getting in touch with your spiritual practices on a daily basis, which is using your will to back up your commitment, which is to the desire of your heart. And so just reflect right here and now and just close your eyes and just get in touch with, what do I really desire? What do I really want? Peace of mind, a more loving spirit, a sense of my connectedness with God, the all that is. And get in touch with what this commitment is that is truly your desire. What is your heart of hearts calling forth from the deepest recesses of your being? And silently give words to it. It's very simply. And take a moment of silence and make a commitment to this truth of your being, to this desire of your heart. And there's a ripple effect. We have inserted a cause in space and time. We have tossed a pebble into the quiet pond of consciousness, and the ripples are moving out, and the effects are coming forth. As we have made a commitment to the desire of our heart, and we are backing up that commitment with the will of who we are. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. Amen.
Okay, it's now time for our offertory. If this is your first time here with Unity, we welcome you. And we appreciate your being here. It's a gift to us. So as a gift to us, you are not asked to participate in the offertory. Just your being here is our gift. So please join me in the offertory prayer. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give, and all I receive, and I am grateful.
So blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed.
Okay, now we'll say the offertory blessing again. This time substituting our pronouns for us and we. Divine love as us blesses and multiplies all that we are, all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive, and we are grateful. How many people are here for the first time? Do you mind raising your hand? Super. Welcome. We have a blessing for you that we would like to share. If you join me, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ as you. Come up.
Good morning, everybody. I just want to introduce our two new community members to you. And if I could invite Shelley and Patricia to come up. Alrighty. This is Shelley Jones and Patricia Meese. And before I give them their certificate, I just want to tell you what they've said yes to as being new members of the community. Yes to participating in spiritual education classes and spirit groups. So they've said yes to some meaningful service in the ministry, and yes to a designated level of a monthly financial support to contribute to the operations of our ministry. Thank you. I just want to give them their certificates. Okay, if you would take. I don't have enough hands. There you go. All righty. And I would like, yay. And I'd like to say the blessing to them. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ as you. Thank you.
I'm loud, but not that loud. I imagine that my childhood was very much like most of you here, and that is that you went to church on Sunday. And I did that, and I did that to my children. And I know. And it was a big deal because it was mortal sin if you didn't go, so you get guilt trip built into that. And then I came to Unity, and I realized what it should be about. And what I found here is a lot of things, but 3 things happen every Sunday to me, probably to most of you as well. And that is that we learn something that really helps us. We have a takeaway. We laugh because of Reverend Mo. Thank you so much. Very important part of our life. And we listen. We listen to performance quality music. Not only the talent do we appreciate, but we also appreciate how complementary the music is to what we are hearing through the sermon. So it reinforces. Now, I personally am a dancer. Okay, stay tuned. Meaning that I am transformed by music. Music speaks to me. And when I dance, I am liberated. I don't have the tightness of stenosis. I am, stay with me, Diana Ross. I know. Stop. In the name of love, I'm there. Tina Turner, keep with the hair, you know. Actually, I know that I'm much more like Elaine from Seinfeld in reality. But this is what music, I think, does or should do for all of us. And that is, it brings out the kid in us. But for those of you that say, oh, no, I don't dance, nonsense. It's innate. You have an assignment. You have a homework assignment. And the homework assignment is that you go home and you choose any kind of music that you like, and you turn it up, and you close your eyes, you stand up, and you let that flow within you. And don't tell me that it doesn't touch and help you to be the best person that you can be. So, with that said, I would like to remind you, visual, that we have this coming, no, scratch that, not this Tuesday, next Tuesday, February 9th, 7th. All right. I need help here. Okay. Tuesday, February 7th, 6 to 8, right now or sometime today, look in your personal calendar. And whatever you have down for 6 to 8 o'clock on February 7th, Tuesday, erase it. Erase it. What's more important? Come, join us, have fun, be a kid again. Start working towards being that liberated person that you know that you can be. And you're gonna do it with other people. So join us. You can purchase the tickets today, or you can purchase them next Sunday, or you can purchase them Tuesday night. Also, these cards, there's quite a few all throughout and in the back as well. That person next door or somewhere in your neighborhood, or if you have a friend, bring someone that you think might enjoy this. Who won't? So that's my assignment. Namaste.
Good morning. Rev Mo asked me to speak a little bit more about spirit groups that I know Rob already did again this morning. Today is the last day to sign up for spirit groups, and they will start this week. So while the one that you're attending starts Friday, yes, but the rest of them will be starting this week. So if you've signed up for a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday group, it will start this week. So today's the last day to sign up. I'll be out there with any questions or anything anyone has. And yes, the book was donated, so we have copies of the book for anyone who signs up for the spirit groups. Who has signed up for the spirit groups already this time? Wonderful. Who's done spirit groups before? Yay, that's awesome. Okay, so I will be basically shadowing Rev Mo through the spirit groups this time. So I will be back there to answer any other questions. And I just wanted to mention that the workshop that is coming after today is based on the book that is the book for the spirit groups. So that all worked out perfectly well, and we're very happy to have Greg here to do that workshop. So if you can attend, if you're attending the spiritual groups, it'd be great to have you here. So thank you so much.
Okay. Please join us now for the peace song and the prayer for protection.
Diana Ross, thank you for those kind words. I do want to take a minute, though, to just let you know what you're getting into next week, a week from next week. It's a concert, but what it is actually, it's a combination of storytelling. I get an opportunity to share with you the other styles of music that you may have never heard me sing before. And then halfway through it, I'm switching off the stories and I'm just going to play music so you can dance. So it's kind of a combination of a party, dance thing, and a little storytelling and some fun. It's going to be a good time. So thank you, Diana. I'll make sure I sing a song for you. All right. I want to see that, too. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. am the light of God that surrounds us. I am the love of God that enfolds us. I am the power of God that protects us. I am the presence of God that watches over us. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Have a blessed week, everybody.